everybody. Here's our topic for today. Crystal meanings, are they reliable? Okay, let's discuss. I'm really looking forward to getting into this one. So, and by the way, the question of the day, please go ahead and answer this in the comments below right now, whether you're in the replay or live. Do you find your usual crystal meanings and correspondences to be dependable? Like your go-to rose quartz is for this and amethyst is for this. Have those been reliable as of late? This is a question that I've been asking around in different social media lately because without asking, I've been getting information from all, and I'm in a great position to be able to get information from all of you, from different avenues, from my students, from social media, that things are a-shifting. Also, I just want to bring up, are you on the wait list for my fall registration of my Certified Crystal Healer course? This is the last registration for 2018. If you're interested in that, registration is going to be opening soon, in a week and a half, I think, 2 weeks, something like that. But registration is currently closed. To get on the wait list, go to hibiscusmoonjoin.com, hibiscusmoonjoin.com. Under the video, you can put your name and email there and get on the wait list. And you do want to be on the wait list. There's some very important reasons why you want to be on the wait list. But anyway, all right, so let's get into the content for today. So our current crystal meanings, most of us get them from books. Some of us take courses on where to learn the current crystal meanings. My course is not the course for you if you're looking for a course that teaches you crystal meanings. That's not what I do. That's not what I've ever done. Some people choose to take others' courses because I don't go through and have you memorize crystal meanings. That's just not how I approach it. So for the crystal meanings that you know of, do they work for you? Have they recently shifted for you? Do you find them to be reliable, dependable, consistent? And sometimes, you know, the crystal meanings, if we're using books here, are contradictory just from book to book. So I'm not talking about that. Are the crystal meanings that you've always known to be true for you, if you're, you know, if crystal healing and working with crystals is old hat for you, are you finding them to still be trustworthy? Or have you found that it's changed as of late? Are the crystals no longer working for you? Not necessarily weaker, but are they not working for you in the way that you expect them to? Maybe they are working, but in a different capacity. Maybe the energetics have shifted. So did stuff that used to be true for you for a particular crystal, is it no longer true for you anymore? Now, before I get into the why of it, I want to discuss some specifics, but I also want to bring up the fact that perhaps this is always something that cycles through, you know, and crystals are millions of years old, some billions of years old. And our little lifespan of, you know, into our 80s or hundreds, if we're lucky, is a drop in the bucket. It's just like a millisecond in the grand scheme of the life cycle of the crystals and of Mama Earth. So maybe this shift in energy with the crystals is something that we always cycle through, okay? And it's just normal, and that's just the way it goes. We have no way of knowing that. But in all the years I've been working with crystals, and I'm just talking about within our measly little lifespan here, and I don't mean to be calling it measly, but relatively speaking, short lifespan. This is the first time I've noticed a dramatic shift with so many crystals. And over the last decade of sharing this information with others on social media and teaching my students and writing about crystals on my blog, it's the first time that I've noticed this big shift with this happening amongst many in our community. Have you noticed the same thing? Have you noticed that just some crystals have had this energetic shift? And again, I don't mean weaker. Some people felt like when I was polling about that I meant that the crystals lost their energy or that they're weaker. They may be even stronger, or they may just be working in a different way because maybe their vibrational frequency has shifted. Or maybe too, they just no longer work for you. And what I think might be going on there is that not that the crystal just, you know, like somebody flicked the switch and turned the power off and that they no longer work. It's just that perhaps they're not working in the way that you're expecting them to. They're not doing what you had always known them to do in the past, and that things have changed. And now we need to rediscover, we need to jump in and do the work to rediscover what's their new superpower. What are they up to now? How have things shifted with them? Okay, so in a recent poll I did, 80% said that this is indeed the case for them, that there is an energetic shift with their crystals. So I'm taking that. It's not across the board. It's not for everyone. But as I notice in a lot of things when I do my research, that it's always hovering around 80 to 85% for the majority of us, right? So this is specifically what I'm finding for myself and or hearing often from others. And please know, this list is by no means comprehensive, okay? I'm always saying this. We have over 4,500 minerals on this planet that we're aware of, discovering new ones all the time. So this list is not even scratching the surface. But let's get into some specifics. Okay, so, and some of these things I've discussed and sprinkled about here and there in recent topics, video topics, blog posts, etc. Citrine, the baked variety, I feel is no longer cutting the mustard for doing the things we're applying it to. I do see the baked variety of citrine, and that's the one that you find most often everywhere. It has more of an orange tint to it. I should have brought one with me to show off, or an iced tea look to it. It's the one that the big geodes are always baked. You're really not going to find a big geode that's real citrine. I feel like those have had their power diminished. However, I have not put in the time and the work to really work with them to find out what else they might be offering at this time. But I'm leaning towards, as I usually do, man-made, man-altered, just moving away from them altogether. So as far as citrine goes, Congo citrine is the one, and I feel like, and I shouldn't preface that by saying not just Congo citrine. Congo citrine is natural. It's gorgeous. It often comes in an abundance cluster with lots of little babies around the bottom. Brazil, natural Brazil citrine is good too, but it's harder to identify. So when I tell people, if you're looking for natural, when you go with Congo citrine, if you know what to look for, usually that's the one to go with. But Brazil natural citrine is just as good. And that is my preference for, and it's gotten stronger. I feel the energy has gotten stronger, more amplified. Okay, rose quartz, this is an interesting one. I don't personally find this to be true for myself, but for many others out there, it's either no longer offering assistance with matters of the heart, as it's always known to do, like people are just going to it for that and feeling nothing or getting nothing out of it. Or many even say that it's causing anxiety or anger when they're looking to work with it for matters of the heart. So now they're just being repelled and staying away from it. So I'm wondering, is that true for you too? Veracruz amethyst. I'm finding it, whereas before I used to go to that one for calming my mind while meditating, like the stone to work with when looking for assistance with meditation, maintaining focus, clarity and focus, and clearing the mind of thoughts. Not the case anymore. And again, I've verified this with other people. Is it true for you? This might not be true for everybody across the board, just something that I'm noticing. Selenite, where that one used to be considered very high frequency, almost like hypermind, finding it to be either for myself calmer, so I like meditating with it to calm my mind during meditation, whereas I used to use Veracruz amethyst to do that. Now I'm going to selenite to do that, where I never would have used selenite for that energy before. And others are saying that selenite is feeling stagnant to them, something I never heard of with selenite before. And it's just so weird that all of these things are coming in together at the same time. And I feel it's no coincidence. I'm going to go into the why and what might be happening, of course, from a scientific viewpoint or astrophysics viewpoint. Moldavite, one that was always considered really high energy, kind of like that hypermind energy, lacking energy. Moldavite. Like this is unheard of, right? One that I was reminded of yesterday, someone brought it up and I remembered, yeah, I've heard this before. K2 granite, quote unquote jasper. Some people call it K2 jasper. It's really a granite. It's got that gray and white mottled background with the beautiful blue spots, azurite spots in it. It seems to have started to darken, kind of like as if there's an intense energy exchange happening with it, and that whiter, lighter colored background starts to get shadowy and darkening, like the stone is actually morphing. Herkimer diamonds, another one that lacking energy. Herkimer diamonds, what? Lacking energy? Like, what is going on? Smoky quartz has become one that's like known for, well, it used to be known more for detoxing energy, kind of a calmer kind of an energy, but a detoxer, a neutralizer of anything negative. Now it's like a big, and it never was a favorite before. Now it's like everybody's favorite, smoky quartz. People are just like, that's my go-to stone. And it's got like a lively energy to it. And I'm noticing that as well for many others noticing the same thing. So what else are we going to discover that is changing and shifting with all this other energy shifting? So here's what I feel is going on. And I've talked about this theory here and there, my students in my courses, but I've never really dived deep into all of it. I've just kind of like alluded to it. And I've had this theory on this for quite some time, but I didn't have the scientific proof to back it up. So I've been sharing about this for a while, but recently I was quite excited because the science emerged kind of like everywhere to back this theory up. So there have been huge changes happening to our entire solar system that affect Earth as well. Okay, people talk about global climate change. It's not just happening on Earth. Look at all the other planets in our solar system. There's something huge and big going on all of them. Okay, so we're not the only ones in this, all right? So these changes do impact the energetics of our planet. And when something impacts the energetics of our planet, Mama Earth, which is the biggest crystal that we know of, it's also going to impact Earth's crystal beds, where we get our crystals, all the minerals. So it includes our crystals that we have in our collections. All right, so scientists have recently confirmed, this is the big like news story that's been going out to all the scientific journals and channels and all the places. They've recently confirmed that gamma ray levels reaching our planet have increased tremendously. They've always reached our planet, but what they're measuring has just, the charts, they've gone off the charts, okay? So when we talk about cosmic rays, we're talking about X-rays, gamma rays, coming from different places in the universe. We think this particular set of cosmic rays that are so amplified right now are coming from an area where some supernova exploded. Ancient, old, huge stars exploded a long time ago, but the rays are just getting to us now. Now, I talk about this in my Crystal Savvy class elective, that when we're talking about cosmic rays, we're talking about angles of light, high frequency light, and should I even mention this? When I'm talking about angles of light, and this is something that Jacqueline Dubois, my friend and teacher mentor, I love her, she has a YouTube channel too, she called them angles of light. The etymology is the same as angels of light. And I go into why angels of light and angles of light, angles and angels actually mean one and the same when we dive deep into the etymology of that word. In my Crystal Savvy class elective, I go into that. So when I'm thinking and talking about cosmic rays and angles of light, I'm thinking of them as actual angels. And we're the angels that we've talked about since ancient times, always these cosmic rays of light, bringing us specific intel, information. I'll stay with me here. I'm going to get into that a little bit more. Now, why are these cosmic rays reaching our planet all of a sudden now at this tremendously high level? Well, there's 3 factors for this. All right. 1, we're in the modern grand solar minimum. What does this mean? It means our sun is very calm right now. And because our sun, our local star, is quiet, its solar magnetic field is weaker. See, when it's spouting off and having all these prominences and activity and solar wind and all this stuff, it creates this strong magnetic field and kind of a shield and really protects the entire solar system. But right now, it's in a very quiet period, the grand solar minimum, and so that shield is weak, considerably weaker. This is something that happens on a cycle about every 200 years, scientists think. So it means that not only more cosmic rays, but more UV light is reaching Earth's surface as well as more intergalactic rays. So we've got more UVA, UVB, and now a new one, UVC. So be careful when you're going out there, you know, cover up and everything that you usually do, but a little bit more because it's stronger than ever. The second factor why these cosmic rays are hitting us, Earth's magnetic poles are shifting. All right, they're no longer, you've probably heard this a lot, right where they were reliably for a while. Even the airports are having to change all their instrumentation, the airplanes and everything, because those poles are shifting around. I'm not going to get into whether they're going to flip or not, but when they're shifting around like that, that makes for a weaker Earth magnetic field. That's another shield, because usually the magnetic field shields us from most of the cosmic rays. So with another field down, it's not completely down, but it's weaker, less protection. Okay. The third factor is our solar system, okay, isn't static. It doesn't just stay put in the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy is spinning, and we are going around the Milky Way galaxy, around the center, around the big black hole that's in the center of the galaxy. And our sun is moving in a spiral along its path. Along with it, it's taking all the planets in the solar system along with it in this spiraled path, okay, a vortex. All right, so we are moving through a zone, a stronger galactic zone. Well, let me back up. We're moving through a galactic zone that's actually a void area. So there's less stuff in it. Okay, this zone is called the local bubble. And it was created by, like I said before, many of these supernova, the explosions, and they created like an empty spot. Not 100% empty, but emptier than what we're used to. So it's less dense of cosmic dust and gas. Therefore, it's less protective of those intergalactic cosmic rays that are coming by through that. So normally the intergalactic dust and gas would absorb it and create yet another shield for our solar system. Well, we're going through this void area, the local bubble, and so we have less protection. Again, so 3 factors. All right. In the past, when we go through these areas, or let me just say, when we have more cosmic rays, we have learned that we go through these periods of punctuated equilibrium. What that means is on an evolutionary timeline, we're going along, species staying the same, equilibrium, and then boom, there's a big upgrade. And all of a sudden, mass evolution. Lots of species are mutating and changing, and new species are coming online. So these cosmic rays actually change DNA. All right. So they go down to the atomic level. They change atomic energy, and they change structures in minerals. Wait, I still am getting to the scientific proof. I haven't gotten to that yet. So cosmic rays can do other things besides just change DNA. They can spark volcanoes on our planet. You've been hearing a lot about that lately, right? They can spark earthquakes. You've been hearing a lot about that lately. Other tectonic activity. So it's definitely getting down in there into the layers of Mother Earth, not just the crust, the magma, maybe even down to the core. Scientists think that it may be because cosmic ray particles thin out the silica-rich magma in the magma layer. Okay, so as temperature increases, the energy increases, and the silica-rich magma layer becomes less viscous, so it's thinner, right? So it changes the energy present in it at the molecular, at the atomic and molecular level. Now that silica, that word silica, whenever you hear of it, that is talking about silicon dioxide. That is what quartz is made of, silicon dioxide, okay? Amethyst is silicon dioxide with just some iron inclusions in it, all right? So silicates are minerals that have silica in it. So it's not just silicon dioxide. It could be any mineral that has silica in it, all right? Other types have silica in it, like black tourmaline, all right? So silicates make up many of our crystals, many of our crystals. So here scientists are giving us the information that the cosmic rays are actually thinning out the silica-rich magma and the silicates. All right, so maybe the silicates are the ones that are most affected by this. This is not research that I've done, so I don't know if it goes beyond the silicates. Other types of crystals may be affected too, but the silicates are what we have the scientific proof of. So keep in mind that light radiation, such as these cosmic rays, is information. That is what light is. Light is information. It's interchangeable. But this is information of a very high frequency. Gamma rays are the highest on the electromagnetic spectrum, highest frequency. So some of us, some crystals, beings will be downloading amazing information. So like I said, in the past, cosmic rays have been known to upgrade and change all matter, including crystals and our DNA. We have evidence of this, and that the cosmic rays is the culprit, part or if not all of the culprit of our past evolution explosions and the DNA upgrades. Now, some people might be getting scared when they hear about this change in DNA. I don't feel this is damaging our crystals or our DNA, so no fear here. It's just changes, you know, like if we went through a strand of DNA, maybe little switches getting flicked on or off here and there, okay? So this high frequency cosmic ray stuff is completely different than the DNA damaging high frequency radiation that you might be thinking about when we think of human created lab junk. Like, I mean, definitely they have their purposes, but when I'm comparing one relative to the other, you know, if we're talking about human-created X-ray machines or destructive gamma-ray lab machines for destroying germs and things like that, these cosmic rays are completely different than those kinds of high frequency. Why? Because I make a big distinction when it's man-created and source-created. So these high-frequency cosmic rays are not human-created, right? They are source-created. Therefore, flawless, organized information, organized intelligence, ancient data, beyond human. I make a big distinction there. It's one of the main reasons why I shy away from, I mean, I live in a man-made world. I'm not saying I live in a cave and I only do touch the, but I put the things that are created by source on a pedestal. Okay, so if our crystals are changing, it's time to figure out how we're going to interact with them now. That's all. So how they're entraining our energy now, and take time to get a whole new education with them. And this is why I don't teach people to memorize crystal meanings or correspondences. If you're looking for a course that does that, they're out there, but mine is not the right fit for you. Okay, so if you would like to know some of my own tried and true successful crystal healing methods backed by science, because I'm a former science department chair, science teacher for a long time, and join a class of over 1,500 successful graduates around the globe, you might be interested in my Certified Crystal Healer course. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So thank you for joining me once again. And I hope you enjoyed this chat. I always enjoy my chats with you all. And namaste, crystal blessings. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.